I tell you, WWE just never ceases to amaze me with how terrible they continue to book things. It's absolutely terrible. But people always like to tell me that Triple H is a great booker. And what he does on a weekly basis is must-see TV. I have said so many times that Triple H isn't perfect, but somehow people just seem to find that offensive. Oh, how dare I? How dare I not like Triple H's booking? Ah, I'm a Vince guy. I never ever once said I was a Vince guy. And that's the problem. Whenever I complain about Triple H's booking, everyone just assumes I'm a Vince guy. I'm not a Vince guy. I didn't like Vince's booking either. I mean, what's wrong with me sharing my criticisms? Oh, it's because you never say anything positive, Patrick. There's really nothing to be positive about. Like, I can't find anything to be positive about. WWE have done nothing to really make me go, ooh, I can't wait. Ooh, I can't wait to tune into Raw next week. Like, they haven't done anything, but people think CM Punk returning to WWE proved without a shadow of a doubt that Triple H is a great booker. It doesn't. Him bringing back CM Punk doesn't do anything for me. It's just, sure, it's great to see Punk back, but again, even he will have his limit. And the fact that he got injured in his first match back in WWE tells you everything you need to know about Punk, because that's exactly what happened to him in AEW. He kept getting injured in most of his matches. Monday Night Raw. You know, people complained about Rhea hanging around the men's division, and it's so fickle. It's so fickle of Liv Morgan fans. It's very fickle of them, don't you think? It's very fickle of them. Oh, and especially all fans, not just Liv Morgan's fans, all fans. They're so damn fickle. You're really, really fickle, are you? You're really damn fickle. People complained about Rhea not defending her title. Oh, she does nothing but hang out with the Judgment Day. She never defends her title. She never defends her title. She's always doing Judgment Day's bidding. She's always hanging around the men. But isn't it ironic that Liv Morgan is doing the exact same thing that Rhea's doing? She's hanging around the men's division. She's flirting with Dom, giving him his hotel card that Finn Balor sneakingly takes, if people didn't see. Like, what's the deal here? Like, what's the deal here? Like, why not, like, if you're going to shit on Rhea Ripley doing that, you should be shitting on Liv doing that too. But no, that's not how the world works. You must hate it when one person does it and be okay with it when someone else does it. But it seems like Liv Morgan could be feuding with Zelina Vega, because during a 6-man tag, Zelina Vega attacked Liv, so it sounds like we might be getting that. Where Braun and the LWO would beat the Judgment Day in a 6-man tag. Io was angry. Over the last few weeks, she's kind of been angry over the fact that she lost to Lyra Valkyria in the tournament, and now she's still angry. And she's still angry, screaming that Damage Control needs change. Why are you angry? You beat the woman that caused you to go insane a few weeks ago. It's confusing to me. It's confusing. Like, her going insane because Damage Control keep losing is fair enough. But she also went insane because she didn't become queen. And she beat the woman that prevented her from becoming queen, but she's still going insane. I guess Bayley really wasn't the issue in the Judgment Day. I guess Bayley really wasn't the issue with Damage Control. She was the glue that kept them together, and now the glue has been peeled off. Same thing with the Judgment Day. Like, Rhea was the glue of the Judgment Day, but ever since she got taken care of, Judgment Day have done nothing but argue and having problems. They're having problems, and now Damage Control are having problems. It's stuff like this is why Raw is not a great show, but people continue to tell me Raw's the better show. It's not. It ain't. Damian Priest barely does anything. All he does is fix this. You fix this. We're the Judgment Day. We're the Judgment Day. You better fix this. That's all our world champion has been doing. We're the Judgment Day. Fix this. Dude, what are you fixing yourself? You're the freaking champion. You're the champion of the world. Why don't you fix it? If Finn Balor and all them are having difficulties fixing it, why don't you fix it? Leader of the Judgment Day. Mr. Leader. When Rhea Ripley had a problem, she fixed it. That's what a true leader does. Fixes the issue themselves, but all Damian's done is say, fix this, fix this, fix this. We're the Judgment Day. And then we get Chad Gable and his whole situation with the Alpha Academy. Chad Gable is probably the only good thing about Raw. Chad Gable is probably the only thing I enjoy on Monday Night Raw. There you go, you happy? I said a positive. I said something positive. Are you happy now? Chad Gable is really the only good thing I've been enjoying about on Monday Night Raw, and his whole story with Otis and Sammy. Chad Gable needs to win the Intercontinental Championship. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love Sami Zayn, but Chad Gable needs to win. He really does. He needs to win. If he keeps losing, the more he keeps losing, the more fans are not going to care when he does finally win. Clash of the Castle needs to be where he wins. If not, then maybe Money in the Bank in Canada. That was what I was originally thinking. That's what I was originally thinking. I was originally thinking Chad could win at Money in the Bank because they go into Canada, have him win the title in Canada, which, you know, they could still go that direction, but then that'll annoy the fans. Thinking like, oh my god, can we have Sami Zayn fight someone else other than Chad Gable? If Sami beats Chad again, they gotta move on. Like, they can't just keep having Sami feud with Chad throughout his entire run. One of my other biggest problems about championship reigns is when you're having the champions feud with the same person. That is another thing I really do not like. The Awesome Truth are like literally the worst tag team champions of all time, and the fact that they're still champions to this day blows my mind. I even said they should be transitional champions, only be champions for a couple of weeks. But somehow WWE finds ways to still keep them champions, even when realistically they shouldn't be champions. They've got them in this stupid routine where R-Truth keeps calling people wrong names. DIY or DX. Johnny Gargano, Shawn Michaels, Tommaso Ciampa, Triple H. And now the Authors of Pain are for some reason Bradshaw and Farouk. But people find this shit funny. This is what is wrong with Raw. People find R-Truth, who his whole character saying things wrong, is supposed to be funny. I'm sorry, I'm not 5 years old. I'm 29 years old. I'm not 5. I'm not a 5-year-old. I'm not here to point and laugh that R-Truth called the Authors of Pain APA. I'm not here to laugh that he called DIY DX. I'm not here to laugh at that. Well, then you don't have the sense of humour. You call that sense of humour? You call R-Truth mispronouncing mispronouncing people's names. Funny and entertaining? There's clearly something wrong with you if you think it's funny and entertaining. Ugh, and don't get me started on the women's division, man. I had high hopes for the women's division now that Becky's gone. I had high hopes that maybe Triple H will maybe now start utilizing the women's division more. But no. He's still using the same old people. Instead of using it, but he's that desperate. Instead of just finding other people to use, no, we gotta have Jade and Bianca start appearing now. We gotta have Jade and Bianca start showing up on Raw now. Yes, I know, the women's tag team titles can float between two different shows. I know, before someone tells me, the titles can switch between two different shows, you retard. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know they can go between two different shows. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. Only the champions can flip back and forth. But on SmackDown that past week, we saw Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark all show up on SmackDown. After Jade and Bianca squashed Candice and Indy. Only the champions are supposed to be hot potatoing between two different shows, not the entire division. If that's the case, then Indy and Candice should be allowed to turn up on Raw. If that's the case, then Candice and Indy should have every right to turn up on Raw. But no! Triple H breaking the rules, having Cody Rhodes appear on NXT tomorrow. Brilliant! That's exactly what NXT needs. You're telling me TNA wasn't enough? You had Jordan Grace and Ethan Page show up. Ethan Page, one of their newest signings. You had these people turn up, and it's still not enough? Still not enough ratings for you? Didn't TNA give you enough ratings? Gotta get Cody Rhodes. Hey, Hunter, I need your WWE champion. Yeah, okay, Sean. Seriously, just end the draft already. End the draft. Kill it. Stop it. Get rid of it. If you're not gonna follow your damn rules, get rid of it. It blows my mind how everyone continues to say Triple H is the savior. He is everything that we want as a boss, but yet Ricochet is leaving. Ricochet, the one guy that Triple H adored in NXT, is packing his bags and has told Hunter he's leaving. One of the biggest guys that Triple H signed back in 2018 during the golden days of NXT, he's packing his bags while working under Triple H. While working under Triple H, he is leaving. You would think he would have left while working under Vince. But he's leaving under Triple H. If Triple H is such a great booker, why is Ricochet leaving? Triple H created WWE Speed specifically for Ricochet. And now, the guy that the show was built for is packing his bags and leaving. Now look, I respect Ricochet's decision, and I for one actually applaud his decision. You know, I've always been a fan of Ricochet, and I think Ricochet, deserves, he's had a great career, he's had some great highlights, but everyone pokes fun at the poor guy. Everyone pokes fun at the poor guy by saying, oh, the only real accomplishment this guy ever achieved was Samantha Irvin. You're really going to call him dating a woman achievement? Okay. If that's the case, then CM Punk's highlight for me was him getting with AJ Lee then. See how silly that sounds? The women's tag team division needs to go. The women's tag team titles need to go. The fact that Triple H is still trying to make this division work is insane to me. The fact that Triple H is still trying to make this division work is insane. It is. It's totally insane that he's still trying to make this division work. Oh, I know how to make the women's tag team division more successful. Give it to Jade and Bianca, two of the biggest stars we have right now. That'll get people invested in the tag team division. That'll get people invested. Put the titles on them. Look, I know Jade needs to be... Look, Jade shouldn't be a champion this early. She's only been signed for like, what, 3-4 months? She's only been around for like, what, 2, 3, 4 months? And you're gonna slide a title on her immediately? You know, I for one, I'm not a fan of people just shove... I'm not a fan of just bringing someone in and immediately making them champion. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. Never been a fan of that. I was not a fan of them doing it with Roxanne either. I wasn't a fan of them doing it with that Oba Femi. I wasn't a fan of them doing it with Ethan Page. Just the facts remain is this. I don't like it when WWE brings in someone, either immediately makes them champion, or immediately has them challenging for a championship. Whatever happened to the days where you work hard, you grind hard, you grind and work hard to get a title shot? But nowadays, in 2024, you can just get a title shot because of the country you're going to. Which is exactly what's going on with Piper Niven and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And trust me, I love all three of them. I love all three of these girls. But there's no way you can tell me, logically, that these three girls deserve a title shot. Logically speaking. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn haven't been on TV since they lost to Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Yes, they're now making TV appearances now. Yes, they're on TV now. But I'm just saying, before they started making appearances, that was the last time we saw them on TV. But now, all of a sudden, because we're going to Scotland in Clash of the Castle, now all of a sudden they're going to start appearing on TV? All of a sudden now you're going to start using them? You see, that's the biggest problem here. It was the same shit with Indy Hartwell. They only gave her a small push in February because they were going to Australia. Like, why are you giving people small pushes just because of the country they're going to? Just give them a push! Is it that hard? To just push them? It doesn't matter where you're going? Doesn't matter what country they're from. Bloody use them. Bloody give them a push. Seriously. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts how Triple H is just giving people pushes just because of their country. And it's kind of ironic that Zelina Vega hasn't had a push since San Juan, Puerto Rico. And she's Puerto Rican. Funny how that works. Funny how she hasn't had a title shot since then. And that's my point. Triple H is not a great booker. Monday Night Raw was absolutely trash. Absolutely trash. Other than Chad Gable and maybe Bron Breakker destroying Ricochet, there was nothing great about this show. Nothing great at all. Raw is completely unwatchable, and I just can't stand it. I just cannot stand how people continue to rah-rah Triple H. You're doing a great job, man. Oh, but Patrick, we get competitive matches every week. We get incredibly great matches every week. The only long match on Raw today was Ilya Dragunov versus Bron Breakker. That was really the only good match that happened on the show. I didn't care for Lyra versus Io, because I've seen that already. I didn't care for that match, because I just didn't. I'm not really the biggest Lyra fan. I'm not the biggest Lyra fan. Sure, I'm not her biggest fan. But I do appreciate they're using her, but the only thing I don't like is that they're only pushing her because of her association with Becky Lynch. That's the only reason why they're using her. Not using her because she's talented, not because she's good as a wrestler. It's, hey, she's got an association with Becky Lynch. That's it. And Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, Jesus Christ. They had their first legit match on Raw and you squashed them to Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stink? If Zoe Stark can't get over, if Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch can't get Zoe Stark over, that tells you how terrible Zoe Stark is. You were literally given two. You were literally with a Hall of Famer and a future Hall of Famer. And you even scored a pinfall win over Becky Lynch on an episode of Raw, and you're still not getting reactions from the fans. Seriously, you could hear a pen drop when Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark entered the ring. And of course, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn aren't getting any reactions because they're barely ever used on TV. They're barely ever used. Why are the fans gonna care? Why are the fans gonna care when you're not doing anything with them? They cut creepy promos. There's times you'll see them cut a few creepy promos, and that's about it. Ooh, we're gonna flick the curse on the women's division, and then we don't see them again. This is the problem with WWE. They're not consistent. And you wonder why people are failing to get over. Because Triple H is not doing good enough to elevate these people. He'd rather push people like Logan Paul, who's had 2 title defenses in the span of 200 plus days as champion. But Rhea Ripley but Rhea Ripley, man, she keeps hanging around the men's division. She's not defending her title. But Logan Paul can go 2 title defenses in the span of 200 plus days, and funny how no one says a damn word. Irony. Irony. I just do not enjoy it. I did not enjoy this episode of Raw. It was trash. It was trash. And people wonder why I don't enjoy these shows much. And you wonder why I don't review them as much. Because it's terrible. And that's all I've got to say. Hit that thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all on the other side.